Good morning, students. In continuation with our chapter number 9, that is Force and Energy, today we will continue the different types of forces around us. So let's begin. The next type of force is the electrostatic force. Students, do you know when you run a comb through dry hair, the comb gets charged and is able to attract tiny bits of paper when brought near it? This type of force that a charged body exerts on another charged body or uncharged body is called electrostatic force. Materials such as amber get charged when rubbed with other materials and attract lighter objects. Now we will study about the mechanical force. Mechanical force is the force that involves physical contact between two objects and results in a change in the state of an object. For example, when you open a door, your hand pushes the door, thus opening it. When you apply force on the door, the shape of the door changes. Thus, mechanical force can bend, break, or compress things. The next type of force is the buoyant force. Different objects, when dropped in water, will either sink or float on it. When an object is dropped in water, the water exerts a net upward force that pushes the object to come up. This upward force is called buoyant force. You might have observed in your daily lives that when you try to push any object into water, the water applies an upward force on the object that pushes it to come up. And this upward force is equal to the weight of the water displaced by the object. This is called the Archimedes principle. The next type of force is the frictional force or friction. Frictional force is the force that tries to stop the movement of objects across a surface. It is the force generated by two surfaces that contact and slide against each other. It always acts in a direction opposite to the direction or movement of the object. It can slow down the movement of an object or stop it from moving altogether. Now, let us study some advantages and disadvantages of friction. Friction between our feet and ground helps us to walk. We find it difficult to walk on ice or on a smooth polished floor because the movement across these surfaces produce less friction. That is why we often slip on an icy ground or a wet floor. The friction between the tires of vehicles and the road make them roll forward. Thus, friction makes movement of vehicles possible. Friction between the chalk and the blackboard helps us to write on the blackboard. It also helps us to write on paper and erase pencil marks on paper using an eraser. Now we will discuss the disadvantages of friction. Friction makes it hard to slide or move heavy objects across the floor. Friction generates heat. For example, when we rub palms together for some time, heat is generated due to friction. The heat produced can cause damage to machine parts such as car brakes. Friction causes damage to tires of vehicles, the soles of shoes, and machine parts, making these objects wear away with time. This is the reason machine parts are oiled regularly, as oil is slippery and reduces the friction between different parts of a machine. So, dear students, that is all for today. I hope all the concepts are clear to you. Do watch the video again for a better understanding of the concepts. Thank you.